Good morning and welcome back to the FPL Tom deadline streams. As always, this is a dual stream with YouTube and TikTok, and if you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. It's a very interesting game week 12 we start ourselves off with. There's injury news, there's potential captaincy risks, there's a lot to talk about in today's stream. So if you are, not 100% sure, you've got some questions, get them in and we will try to answer them as best as we can. I've already seen we've got a few regulars in the YouTube stream. Morning Ethan, morning Josh, and morning that TPS player. And like I said, if you do have any questions, do get them in, as it does help the stream flow a little bit more. We also will be reviewing teams a little bit later. And if you want to send them in at FPLTom_. If you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is just go into the bio. It'll take you straight there. Go to my pinned tweet on Twitter at FPLTom_. Leave your team under there and we will review those in a little while once we get kind of a good selection of teams. I can already see we've got questions flying in on both chats, so we will start off with a few of those. Is Nketiah injured? Apparently not. He was pictured training yesterday, so I think he should be back and fine. Should I captain Højlund? I mean, he's got a good record in the Champions League, but Premier League, not really. It's not really happening for him, but you would bank on a Manchester United win today, or you'd be hopeful for one, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Am I wearing a wig? No, this is my natural hair. It does look a little bit like floppy and wiggy at the front, doesn't it? But yeah, it is my natural hair. It's just a mess today. Start Doku or Saka? I'd probably go Saka, to be honest. Ethan's asked the best replacements for Maddison. We will come on to that. We do have a slide on the YouTube stream just for Maddison replacements, so we will get onto that. So if you do have any questions about potential Maddison replacements, we will pop onto that. And if my voice sounds a bit weird, I have a cough weekend, so it might. Sean's gone from Maddison to Kudos. I rate it, lad. I rate it. He might be one of the picks on the slides. Who knows? Is Saka fit to start? He's been pictured with the squad yesterday, so take of that what you will. Basically. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I have Maddison in my team. Should I take a -8 or use Simicast or Archer from the bench? I'm guessing you've already taken a -4 then, that TPS player. George says, come on, you Stags. Exactly. Big win planned today. We need to get back on track, so hopefully that's the case. Should I sell Son for Martinelli? I don't think so. Captain Bowen, smart or dumb? It's one of those, isn't it? Like, if you fancy him, I think if it was an away game, yes, because he's absolutely smashing it, but it is what it is. Spurs, no, not Spurs. It's not Spurs, pal. Captain Doku, I think the fixture's not great, is it? But if you fancy him, why not? Go for it. I don't think there's any clear captain kind of favourite this week, to be honest. If you look at kind of everyone's fixtures, they're a little bit like, there's no one like kind of leading the way, especially in the premium department. You've obviously got Haaland, who's got Chelsea away. Chelsea defensively aren't that bad. Going forward, yeah. Then you've got Son. Good fixture on paper, but it's the early kickoff, so Gandhi's going to strike. You know that's going to happen. And then you've also got the fact that, Spurs have now got like half a team, pretty much. Saka would be a really good shout for this week, but it is what it is, isn't it? Like, again, there's so much kind of controversy around players being fit, whether or not they're going to, have any players available. It's just one of those. And then who's the other option? Salah, Brentford at home. Brentford have a really good record against top 6 sides. If you look at the away record at Anfield, though, it's not so great. They've lost both games, but still one of those. It's still one of those, isn't it? A few other people in the YouTube stream. If you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. Link in the bio if you want to do that. I can answer your questions just that little bit easier. Also, when I do reveal my team, it will be on screen when we review your teams as well. If you want to send them in at FPLTom_ on Twitter, if you want to send those in, yeah, you get to see that on screen. And when we go through the Maddison replacements, you get to see all the cool graphics and everything else on the YouTube stream. And we're trying to hit 2,500 subs over there. So if you want to help me out with that, come over. come over. Not so template FPL says, morning mate, hope you're doing well. I am doing good, my friend. I am doing very good. I hope you are too. Also makes great FPL content, so if you want to go follow him, go check his YouTube channel out. Not so template FPL, great content creator. Joshua says, you captaining Craig today? No, Craig Dawson is not in the team. He's not in the team today, to be honest, after his disappointment last week. But after Monday, it doesn't look as bad, because otherwise I would have just left my team and kept a Doji in. Now, if that was the case, I would have had -4. So Craig outscored him by 4 points by getting 0. So if you look at it that way, I'm technically a genius. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm technically a genius. Is Watkins a good captain shout? This is the thing, right? I've been leaning on Watkins all week, and then I've switched to Salah looking at the head-to-head records last night. So I think I could still be changing. It's up in the air. It is up in the air. Dave Edwards has asked, start Onana or Raya. You would have to back Manchester United at home against Luton. You just would. So I'd probably go... But then Burnley at home. I'd probably still... I reckon I'd go Raya. Arsenal's defensive record's a lot better than Manchester United. I just don't trust them. I do think Luton are going to score at Old Trafford today. I've just got a weird feeling. Yeah, I was going to say, I've not seen you upload in a while, but you still make great content, mate. You still make great content. People should still go and check you out. Will Saka play, or do I put Mbeumo in? I think, obviously, Saka was pictured with the squad yesterday, so take of that what you will is kind of the motto I'm having at the moment. I think he'll play. Though. It didn't look that serious an injury. Is it good to captain Nketiah? I mean, if you want to go down that route and you think that's a good shout, then why not? Why not? Here's what it is. Right, I'm going to try and get rid of this sweet that I have in my mouth. And then, yeah, we'll start doing some cool stuff. So if you're on TikTok, the best thing you can do, like I said, is come over to the YouTube stream, because I will be revealing my team in like a minute once I get rid of this sweet. I rate that as a captain, though. I do rate that as a captain, mate. Go on Bruno. It's one of those, isn't it? Alright, let's get through this tweet. There's also a poll kicking about in the YouTube chat if you want to answer that. The best captain. What's my YouTube? FPL Tom. Or you can just go to the bio and just click the button and it'll take you there. Right, I'm going to get rid of the tweet. We're going to turn the radiator off because it's like a sauna in here. Just keep your questions flowing in. Right, this is so professional. 1 second. Right. Sweet dealt with. Comments flying in. Radiators off. Let's reveal my team. Like I said, if you're on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream, because I'm going to be revealing my team. You can obviously hear it. But yeah, it was a cough sweet. This was really disgusting. My throat was a little bit raspy this morning. Right, that's not the screen we needed. Oh, it's errors today. Errors. Right, there's the team. There's the screen we needed. So this is my team ahead of the Gameweek 12 deadline. We've gone for Areola in goal. I don't really have a choice. I've got Turner as my other alternative, so that's not really going to work. Then we've got Matty Cash. Gabriel, I'm hoping plays. I'm hoping. There is that little bit of risk of rotation with him. But, you know, we've got Craig first sub if it all goes wrong, so it's one of those. Then we've got Gahey, Everton at home. That's a great fixture, so I'm expecting quite a lot from him. Then we've got Diaby. Final probably week for him before he goes. Then we've got Bowen, obviously one of the most he is the highest transferred in player this week. Then we've got Matoma. Again, this one for me feels like a big risk. Like, you're probably looking at it like, oh, Sheffield United at home. Great, but Brighton haven't been very good. Obviously, he played a full 90 in the week. I think he potentially could be dropped. It's just like my weird thought that he might be dropped. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Then we've got Son. Then we've got Salah captain at the moment. This could move to Watkins. Depending on how I feel throughout the stream, it could move to Watkins. It could move to Watkins, or it could stay with Salah. That is kind of the vibe we're going for at the moment. Then up top, we've got Haaland and Watkins. And on the bench, we have Turner, Dawson, Archer, and Taylor. Now, I think if I was in a position where I had to play Archer this week, I don't think I'd mind it. Just down to the fact that, obviously, he scored a great goal. Sheffield United will be a little bit more kind of bounced up after that one. Is that a word? Bounced up? We're making it a word now after that result. But yeah, it is what it is. Right. Let's have a look through some of your questions in the YouTube chat, as I've missed quite a few since I put the tweet out. Is Saka available? We've had this one. He was pictured with the squad yesterday. So make of that what you will is kind of what I'm saying to people at the moment. I've sent my team on Twitter. It's Madison Photo. Great name is Harry. Brilliant. Like I said, if you want to send me your team, guys, at FPL_Tom on Twitter, whether or not that's on TikTok or on YouTube. What am I chatting? Yeah, what am I chatting? Go to my pin tweet on Twitter, at FPL_Tom_. Leave your team under there, and we will review those a little bit later on. No Hwang is good option for this week, especially with Spurs' weak defence. Agree. I've gone for Gordon this week. Nice. Jeff, welcome back to the stream, my friend. Should I sell Hwang for Gordon? I think I probably would. But again, it does seem a little bit short-sighted. Wolves' fixture next week is Fulham, which is quite tasty. So I wouldn't I'd back Hwang to do quite well in that one as well. Maddison and Burn to who? I've got 0.7 mil in the bank. If you send me a team, Jeff, I'll have a look, mate. I'll have a look. I've gone with Mitchell. Nice. I don't think I'd be expecting another 15-point haul. Tyreek Mitchell is very similar to Charlie Taylor a few weeks ago. Wouldn't be expecting the goals. Wouldn't be expecting, the points every single week. But it is what it is. Watkins captain as well. Gabriel is confirmed to start. Where have you heard that? Where do I need to put Mbeumo? Is it in the third slot to the left so Saka doesn't play if I get these points? So, okay. So it goes this way across. I don't think you can see my mouse. That was a really dumb decision. But basically, the third one is the one who will come on first, second, third, like that. That's pretty much it for your bench. Do you think Evan Ferguson will start? I think he will, actually. They don't really have too many options up front at the moment. They're kind of riddled with injury. So I do think he'll start. Morning, John, as well. Another regular of these streams. Thomas Palmer. I've captained Bowen as well. I think I've seen you in a few streams as well, mate. Thank you for coming back. I'm now stuck with Dawson since I sold Trippier last week to get Saka. Oh, John. It was disappointing, wasn't it, mate? It was disappointing, but it is what it is. How can I send you my team? Like I said, guys, if you want to send me your team, whether or not you're on YouTube or on TikTok, leave it under my pinned tweet on Twitter, at FPLTom_, and we will review those a little bit later. And if you're enjoying the content, be sure to like, either on Twitter or YouTube or wherever, TikTok as well. All the likes are massively appreciated, as it does push it out to more people. We can get more people in these streams. I can then do more of them. I can take time off for work for the midweek streams because it actually makes it worth it. But yeah, like I said, sub, follow, all that good stuff. Like, push as much, as you want out there. Massively appreciated by me. Foden to who? Martinelli to who? I'd probably go, I don't know. Predictions, I'll do my predictions a little bit later on. We do have a slide for that as well. Like I said though, guys, do keep those likes coming in, as it is appreciated by me. And if you are on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. The chat runs a little bit slower. You can see my team on screen right now. We're also going to go through the best Maddison replacements right now. And when we do review teams, your teams, on Twitter a little bit later, you'll also get to see that. So, sounds like pretty much a win-win to me, to be honest. Should I start Pope or Areola? I would probably go Pope. Which Palace defender should I replace Adoji with? Alternatively, I'm considering Nori. I think any of them. Obviously, Anderson, Gahey, and Mitchell are the top ones that I would go for. But it's difficult. It is really difficult to say. I don't think Anderson is justifying his price point. So I think you could either go Gahey, Mitchell. They're all kind of very similar. I think as soon as one of them scores, just massively elevates it. Palace really good in terms of XG conceded. And the next 4 fixtures are brilliant as well. Jeff sent me his team. Brilliant. Thank you for that. Start Juan He-Chan or Pedro Porro. I'd probably go Juan He-Chan, you know, with the kind of injuries that Spurs have sustained. Early kickoff as well. Very much. Josh has sent me his team as well. Thank you very much. Many have been hurt by Jackson's early game weeks to jump back to buy him. I don't think Jackson's going to be a player that people are going to buy yet. But I was looking at this. Chelsea's run after game week 16 is delicious. It is fit. It is very, very good. And I can see myself buying Jackson back. I genuinely can, which is a real shame. Yeah, you don't need to message me. Just leave it under the pinned tweet. There you go. People are telling him what to do. Look at this. Look at this. Well done, guys. Well done, guys. Tsimikas or Juan? I'd probably go Juan. I'm not 100% sure about Simicas's kind of minutes for this weekend, to be honest. Especially after his mistake in midweek. Do get your team sent to me in... What am I saying? Do get your team sent in to me, guys. At FPLTom_ on Twitter. And yeah, let's do something cool. Let's do something cool. If I can move my laptop out of the way. We're going to take a look at the best Maddison replacements. Obviously, Maddison, quite a high-owned player, so I thought I would put together a slide of the best Maddison replacements. If you want to come and see this graphic now, TikTok, come over to the YouTube channel. It will be live on your screen. So yeah, you can see the best Maddison replacements. Quite a high-owned player, so I put together this kind of slide for my top favourite picks. So we're going to start off with Eze. Now, this data is from the past 5 game weeks. Now, the thing with Eze is, you know, he is just coming back. The next 4 fixtures for Crystal Palace are really, really good. As you can see, the data doesn't look as great as the others. Like I said, he has just come back. I think he's played about 200 minutes over the past 5 game weeks, whereas all the other ones have played a lot more. A hell of a lot more. 2 assists, 0.91 XG involved. And then, I think the thing is with him, right? It looks like Elise is going to be back in the squad. Positive fixtures coming up. I think they're playing both Luton and Fulham in the next few as well. So I think he's a really good shout. I genuinely think Eze is a really good shout to go with for this week, especially with Michael Elise back in the matchday squad. Whether or not he's going to play is a different scenario, but you would hope over the next few weeks with more positive fixtures and international break as well for him to regain match fitness. I think it's a really, really sensible shout. Obviously, there is a huge price drop from going from Maddison to Eze, but it does free up a lot of money, and I do think he's a really good option for the next few weeks. So I definitely rate it, to be honest. I think it's a great shout. Second player on this list is Matoma. Again, this one I can't quite get behind. I think the next 2 for Brighton are positive and definitely something I would be looking to attack. But in terms of like the team as a whole, I'm not quite convinced going forward. Attacking wise, yeah. You know, the XG hasn't been there over the past few games, so I'm not a big fan. I'm genuinely not a big fan of going for Matoma. I've got him in my own team, and you know, you might be like, that's a bit controversial. But yeah, the XG for the whole team and Matoma's kind of data that he's been putting up over the past 5 game weeks, as you can see there, it's pretty dismal. Sheffield United, though, at home this week, so you would be expecting a positive performance. So if you want to go for a 1 to 2 week punt, Matoma is probably the man to go for. But I do think I prefer Eze over going for Matoma. Now, my top pick for this week as a Maddison replacement is Jared Bowen. He's been on fire. Absolutely electric over the start of kind of the whole season, to be honest. He's been West Ham's probably key standout performer for him. Only 21% owned. I think that has massively jumped up over the past few weeks. Not over the past few weeks, over the past few days, sorry, when I made this graphic. 3 goals for him, 0 assists, but he's got the highest expected goal involvement on this list by a clear country mile, beating the likes of Saka, Kudos, Matoma, and Eze. And if you want to keep, you know, you want to keep that price point within your midfielders, I do think Bowen makes sense. Really good fixtures coming up for West Ham as well. So I think Bowen's probably a really good shout. If you can't quite get to Bowen, maybe you know you've not got Maddison, but you're looking at a midfielder, or you just want to downgrade and free up a little bit more cash. I think Kudos is a great shout as well. 0.5% owned at the time of streaming. Absolute hero if he pulls it off. Massive differential, 2 goals, 1 assist. A few weeks ago, I was a little bit hesitant about him, just purely down to the fact that I wasn't 100% convinced he was going to play every single week. But I think David Moyes has realised kind of what a player he's got on his hand. You know what I mean? What a player he has on his hand, to be honest. But yeah. And then finally finished up Saka, arguably probably the most popular transfer kind of combination this week. Maddison out, Saka in. 1 goal, 2 assists, 1.59 expected goal involvement. There we go. Someone's just told me that Bowen is 26.8. Woof. Huge rise in ownership. But yeah, there's Saka, above 50% owned, so you're not going to get as many points as if you went for one of the other players, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Obviously, positive fixtures coming up for Arsenal as well. You do have to take into consideration, though, the injury and whether or not you're going to think he's going to play today. But yeah, those are the picks that I've gone for. Like I said, we're going to review teams in a second. So if you want to send me them, at FPLTom_ on Twitter. If you're on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. It's all happening over here. Lots of questions flying in. Cool stuff as well, like we just did on screen right now with the graphics. And yeah, when we review teams in a second, it'll be all good. It'll be all good. Right, let's take a look at some questions. I'm thinking I might captain Trippier again, as it worked out so well last time and don't have Salah. Thoughts? This is the thing with captaincy this week. I think you could genuinely go for anyone you want. If you've got a gut feeling that it's going to happen, go for it. Go for it. Huang to Gordon, I think it's positive for this week. Start Mbeumo or Saka. I'd gamble on Saka playing. Lewis has asked Hoyland captain. Again, I think there's possibilities this week to potentially go for a differential captain. Really positive fixture for Manchester United, but obviously the club's a little bit of a mess, isn't it, after that Copenhagen performance? Absolute mess. Martinelli, I think, is a great shout from Ethan. Cool. Like I said, someone else sending me their team. Is Eze back? Yeah, he came off the bench last week, so probably going to start this week. Should I start Areola or Johnson? I'd probably go Johnson. Like I said, Crystal Palace defensive record just that little bit better than West Ham. Hey brother, my team is Areola, Gahey, Cash, Gabby, Son, Salah, Palmer, Martinelli, Saka, Watkins, Haaland, benches Tsimikas and Barmer Taylor. Not much to change. 2 free transfers. Should I downgrade bench for funds? Who would you downgrade? Maybe if you're not 100% sure about Tsimikas' future, then I think you definitely could replace him with a defensive option. Maybe take a look at who's got good fixtures coming up. Maybe you're probably looking at like people like Forest when their fixtures kind of have a little bit of a swing. Wolves players if you want to kind of have a good defensive rotation as well. Is Bowen a decent shout? Bowen's a great shout. But yeah, I think that's what I'd probably do. I've got Kudos. I'm trying to be different because everyone in the family has Bowen. Nice. People are saying Kudos is better than Bowen. Well, we'll see how that goes this week. Will Wilson start? There was a late call on his kind of fitness. It was pretty much down to the last minute to see kind of what's happening with him and his fitness. So, yeah, a little bit dodgy at the moment. Right, let me take a look how many people have sent me their teams, and then we might start reviewing them. Okay, I think we've had a good few. Fly in. It's looking that way. It is looking that way. Right, let's start reviewing some teams then, guys. Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see that. Cool. If you are on TikTok, we are reviewing people's teams right now live on the YouTube stream. Reese, my friend, actually, has said, if Nketiah is fit, Trossard is a stinky move. He went for Trossard this week, thinking Nketiah was going to miss out on this game, but it does look like Nketiah will play. His team is Areola, Tsimikas, Maguire, Cash, Diaby, Mbeumo, Bowen, Saka, Trossard captain. Ooh, Haaland, Watkins, and then on the bench, Leno, Walker, Morris, and Tavares. Obviously, he's made his transfer this week. He's gone with Trossard. He's back in it. I know he's an Arsenal fan as well. A little bit of a risk with Tsimikas, but obviously he's got Walker that could easily just swap, straight in if Tsimikas is a little bit, doesn't play or anything like that. And Buemo, I could easily see getting a penalty goal at Anfield. It's written in the stars. The rest of the team is looking ridiculously strong. Triple Villa like me. It's just whether or not that Trossard captain works out for him. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does, mate. How can I send your team? If you want to send it me on Twitter, @FPLTom_. Leave it under my pinned tweet, as we are reviewing them right now on the YouTube stream as well. But do keep the likes coming in, guys, on YouTube and on TikTok. It is massively appreciated by me. Right, next team is from Smahad. Oh dear, Smadi69. Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah, I do apologise. Names aren't my forte. He's gone for a free hit. He's got Johnson, Trippier, Mitchell, White, Palmer, Martinelli, Juan Hee-chan, Doku, Bowen, Haaland, and Watkins. This free hit is pretty crap. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. It's pretty bad. I wouldn't be having players like Palmer in there with City. It's like he could do something against his former club, but with a free hit, you kind of want him to target the positive fixtures. So having no Brighton players in there is a crime. Again, it's a war crime, to be honest. They've got Sheffield United at home. That's where you need to be targeting. I'd probably say you need at least another Villa player in there. Again, you're probably going to want a United player in there. Maybe Anthony Gordon instead of Juan Hee-chan as well. Yeah, I think with a free hit, you're trying to target the positive 1 week fixtures. So that would be the changes that I'd make. Look for teams that have got good fixtures this week. But if you fancy Juan Hee-chan and Palmer to do something, fair enough. But with a free hit, I usually like to just attack the fixtures. That's the way to do it. That's the way to play a free hit. It's a 1 week kind of thing. Right, Ethan/Jeff. That always confuses me. He has got 0.9 million in the bank. He's got Burn and Maddison and 2 free transfers to Burn. No pun intended. No pun intended. Ha 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 ha. So you could gamble on Saka for Maddison if you wanted to go down that route. I think that's a very viable option. Jared Bowen for Maddison as well could be a great shout for this week. Again, if you wanted to go down that route. Eze as well for Maddison would free up quite a lot of money. Maybe it could mean that you could do, if you went Eze, you might have enough to do Trippier to Burn off the top of my head. Just check if that's an available option. In terms of cheap defenders, let me take a look at some of my popular picks. Let me just load this up. Popular picks below 4.9 million. I think with the good fixtures coming up for Brentford after the next 2, maybe someone like Ethan Pinnock could be a shout. James Collins as well. Always players that score from set pieces. Brentford are very good at that. I think the rest of your defence can rotate with each other. And then in 2 game weeks' time, you'll have Ethan Pinnock come in. And I think they've got a really positive fixture run. Luton at home in game week 14 as well. Really strong team for set pieces. So again, that could be a nice option. You've also got players like James Tarkowski. Again, kind of mixed fixtures coming up for Everton. But if you think it rotates nicely with the other defenders, then go for it. But I think the way that I would be leaning would be Pinnock. You're not going to play him for the next 2, but longer term he rotates extremely nicely with all the other defenders that you've got in that back line. And that would mean you'd have enough to do Maddison, Saka as well. So that's what I'd do. I think that's what I'd do. So yeah, there you go, mate. Cool. Right, let's take a look at the next team that has been sent in to me. Did I say James Collins? Oh, whoops. It's Nathan Collins. Sorry. James Collins on the brain. He scored a hat-trick in midweek. That's all. I was watching, what's the kind of like the midweek Soccer Saturday equivalent? It was just on, and Derby were playing Wolves under 21s, and he scored a hat-trick. Sorry. Not James Collins. Nathan Collins. There we go. Phoenix 11 has said, please rate my team. Thanks. He's gone with the Trippier captain. This is the guy who was in the YouTube chat. Areola, Anderson, Cash, Trippier, Bowen, Matoma, Saka, Son, Haaland, Watkins, Visser up top. Oof. Big shout. Big claim. Obviously, you probably want to take a Doji and Maddison out. Maddison being the priority. Obviously eating into a lot of funds. Also not available to probably January. You've already got Saka and Bowen, so maybe just drop him down to a cheaper option. I think Eze would be a great shout. Frees up a lot of money as well for you to upgrade the rest of the team in key areas. So that's my advice for that one. Oh, is it that Collins? Like, literally, like, what is going off? Like, just... There's too many Collins. There's too many Collins playing football. That's what it is. John sent me his team. He has got Areola, Lascelles, Zinchenko, Craig Dawson, Son, Adingra, Martinelli, Saka, Salah, Watkins, and Haaland. Who's this defender here, John? Because I can't quite see. Is it Lamptey? I'm guessing. My guess is Lamptey. And if that's the case, then yeah, I'd probably still play Craig Dawson. You know what, John? This could be the week, though. This could be the week that Craig absolutely slaps it. But yeah. I don't remember if you said you'd made your transfer or not. I can't remember, John, if you said you made your transfer or not. Hopefully you haven't. But I'll get back to you if you have. I'll get back to you. Right. Let's have a look at what other ones have been sent in. I know there's more kicking about. I know there's more. What to do? This is from Zada. He has got one free transfer. He's got Maddison and Burn both injured. I think that's difficult because you've obviously got Tsimikas. So you could make the move laterally, Maddison to Saka, if you think Saka is fit and going to play. Oh, Van Heckel. I think I'll play Van Heckel then, John. I think I'll play Van Heckel. And if he doesn't play, then obviously you got Craig coming in, the absolute G. No worries, Jeff. No worries, Jeff. I haven't seen that player, and I'm not going to read his name out because I can't tell if it's like one of those where you want me to read it out. Who's my captain? I've currently got it on Salah, but I'm not 100% sure what to do yet. Right, Zada, I think you might have to make a defensive transfer. Maybe a -4 might be needed because I don't rate Tsimikas and I don't think he's going to play. So maybe to an Arsenal defender this week instead of Dan Burn. Or if you wanted to go and get Jared Bowen, that's a great option for Maddison. I think that's probably the changes that I'd do there, to be honest, mate. Right, let's have a look at any other teams. Ethan, can see Hwang getting a return against an injured Spurs side. Still have my wildcards play, so I'm happy enough with this. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. If you've not made your transfers, I'd probably get one of Botman or Tsimikas out this week. Maybe you could go and get Ethan Pinnock like I suggested. You know, next two, you're probably not going to play him, but after that, you are going to play him. So it's one of those. Maybe Harry Maguire is a few week punt. Maybe drop the budget down a little bit. It's one of those. It's one of those. It's one of those that you potentially could do. We did that one. Connor. Yeah. Connor, I know you're in the TikTok stream. There we go. I was trying to think where I'd seen this guy. Right, Connor's in the TikTok stream. He has gone with Areola, Cash, Tsimikas, Trippier, Son, Salah, Bowen, Gordon, Diaby, Haaland, and Watkins. I'm guessing you don't have any transfers left, but I mean the team's pretty ridiculously strong, to be honest, mate. Maybe if you have a transfer left, a defensive one would be nice because I'm not 100% sure about Tsimikas, but the rest of the team is looking filthy. It's looking very filthy. There's too many Connors. Too many Connors. What the hell is happening? But yeah, if this guy's got this other Connor, sorry Connor, has another transfer, I probably would look to replace a defender just because I think Tsimikas could be benched or rotated this week. Right, Nathan sent me his team as well. We've got Areola, Anderson, Trippier, Cash, Gabriel, Salah, Bowen, Diaby, Palmer, Haaland, Awonyi, I think I'd play Saka over Palmer. I think I'd gamble on it. I think I'd gamble going Saka over Palmer. I think I would go Saka over Palmer. So that would be what I'd do there, Nathan. I can't actually see your team, Connor. Yeah, there we go. CJ said the exact same thing. Tsimikas should be sold this week. And yeah, I kind of agree with that, to be honest. Not a big fan of him this week. Okay. Zach sent me his team. Still can't see your team, Connor, mate. But Zach has sent me his team. He's got Edison, Gahey, Tsimikas, Trippier, Cash, Saliba, Diaby, Matoma, Saka, Julian Alvarez, Haaland, and then he's benched Mbuemo and Visser and still got Maddison on the bench. I'm guessing you haven't made your transfer, so you probably want to upgrade. Well, take Maddison out. Probably for Bowen would be the move that I'd do, and then bench Tsimikas this week. Alternatively, I think I'd rather play Mbuemo over Tsimikas as well this week. No. If you wanna send it to me, just leave it under the pinned tweet on my Twitter. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. But yeah, for this team, I'd rather play Zach. I'd rather play Mbuemo over Tsimikas, and if you've got a transfer left, take Maddison out, put Bowen in. That's what I do there. That is what I would do there. But yeah, let me have a quick refresh of that. Doesn't look like we've got any other ones that have been sent in so far. So yeah, keep those coming in throughout the stream, guys. We will have another look in a little while. We'll take another look in a little while. Boom. Yeah, I couldn't see yours either, Josh, to be honest. That was pretty weird. It just wasn't there, which is weird. Very weird. We'll have another look in a little while. See if those kind of pull through. Again, if you can hear some noise in the background, I kind of live not behind a shop, but near a shop, and they always just have random delivery times. This is going to become a run. They have random delivery times, and it's so annoying because they are so loud. They're so loud. So if you do hear any loud banging, that's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. Right, let's have a look through the YouTube chat. Make sure I've not missed any questions. Mr. Blankies asked, "Hi Tom, is Saka available? He was pictured with the squad yesterday. That's about as much as we know." Thoughts on Tsimikas potentially being dropped? I think he potentially could be dropped. I really, really do. Obviously, it was a poor error in midweek. I don't think Klopp kind of stands for that as well. So, yeah, I think I wouldn't play him, to be honest. Saka to Mbuemo, then Archer to Ferguson, maybe. I don't think I'd want to be taking Mbuemo out. I know the next two aren't great, but after that, you want him back for the Luton game. Depends how much value you've got tied up in him as well. No transfers made. I can't remember what I said for you to do then, John. Let's have a look what I said for you to do, mate. Sorry. Random tangent. Where's John's team? Has this now disappeared? No, it's just here. So if you've not made any transfers, what could you do? What could you do here? You could go and get like another cheaper defender, maybe Maguire if the budget can stretch, rather than playing Dawson. But again, it's Craig, innit? It's Craig. It's Craig Dawson season as well, after all. Oh, I think I'd go and get either one, Jeff, to be honest. Kudos or Eze, and then go and get Trippier. That could be a great move. Yeah, people's teams aren't showing up, which is a little bit frustrating today, guys. I'm not 100% sure why, but it doesn't look like they're pulling through. So I do apologise. Yeah. Maddison to Bowen and Tsimikas to Saliba for a -4. Yeah, I think that could work, Ethan. I really think that could work. Is Saka playing? It's one of those. Oh, Josh sent it to the wrong one. Well, come on, mate. Come on. Some poor FPL Tom account has just had the, they've just woke up and they've gone, oh, Josh has sent me the team. Who's this guy who's just sent me the team and asked me to review it? Who is he? What are my transfers for this week? I'm actually rolling. I think the team's in a pretty good place. We're going to roll. We're going to take 2 into next week because, yeah, it allows me to do some cool stuff next week. I think it will be Diaby out from Mbeumo, and then it might be another roll, or it could be Matoma out from Mbeumo, and then another roll. But we'll wait and see. It's an international break as well. There's always going to be some issues with teams and stuff like that. So, yeah. Looks like a few people have been accidentally sending it to the wrong person. Come on, guys. Still haven't come through, by the way. Like I said, if you want to leave it under this pinned tweet here, Gameweek 12 deadline stream, this is the pinned tweet on my profile. So if you are on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube stream, that would be massively appreciated. And if you want to just send me your teams, leave it under this pinned tweet right here. This is the one you need to leave it under. Otherwise, it just sometimes doesn't filter through. This is Harry's team. I think he's in the YouTube chat. He has got Areola, Tsimikas, Powell, Mitchell, Salah, Warson, Saka, Gordon captain, Risky, Haaland, Watkins, Darwin. On the bench, Palmer, Regular. I think I play Regulon over Tsimikas, you know. I genuinely think I would rather play Regulon over Tsimikas. That is the change I'd make there, Harry, to be honest, mate. I'll take Tsimikas and put Regulon in instead. Cheers for the likes in the TikTok stream. Massively appreciated. Woo PQW has sent me their team as well. He or she, we're never assuming genders on this channel. Areola, Trippier, Cash, Anderson, Son, Salah, Saka, Bowen, captain, Gordon, Ferguson, and Watkins, Darwizzy, and Ped Porro, and Tsimikas on the bench. Benching Darwin, oof. I mean, realistically, who would you swap for him? Probably no one, so makes sense. So, yeah. I'd go for that. I'd keep that. I like that. Bowen captain. It's a difficult one. Obviously, Forest are going to be quite jovial after their win against Aston Villa. Yeah, it was Aston Villa. West Ham as well. Haven't been the greatest of sides, to be honest. Jarrod Bowen's kind of been the only real standout performer from that side. The rest of West Ham, it's been a little bit dismal, hasn't it, so far this season? Speaking to a West Ham fan at work, he's not really been impressed once David Moyes gone as well. So, yeah, it's one of those. Doesn't look like we've been sent any more teams, guys, so I don't know. I don't know anymore. I do apologise. Oh, it's not even coming through my notifications, though, for some reason, Josh, and I don't know why, which is weird. Where do you send teams? If you want to go to my Twitter, at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet. That is the place to do it, as I will try and review some more a little bit later on in the stream. Thoughts on Bowen, captain? I mean, it's up to you, isn't it, really? This week, I think you could go, any of, 6 ways, to be honest. I think there's going to be a real kind of split between captaincies. There's some players with some amazing fixtures. You know, you're looking at people like Son, Matoma, Bowen, Diaby, Watkins. They've all got great fixtures. But it's just risky. It is risky. Haaland's fixture isn't great this week as well, so it's just one of those. I think I'm going to go Kudos. Nice, Jeff. Start Kufau or Julian Alvarez. Depends if you've got Areola in goal. Then if you have, then I'd probably go Julian Alvarez. Would you captain Saka if you had him? I probably wouldn't, just down to the fact that he might not play the game. Or might come on the bench. Oh, Thomas, I'm the Whoop guy. Cool. I'm going to flip a coin for Kudos or Eze and then do the opposite. There's a book I'm currently reading called Super Coach. My dad gave it to me. And that says, deep down you already kind of know what you want the result to be. So flipping that coin and then just seeing how you feel, you already kind of know what it's going to be before you flip it. So it's just one of those, isn't it? You already know deep down what you want that result to be. But yeah. Anyway, that's enough deep kind of, motivational stuff. Let's not get into that. Mine just doesn't want to exist. Yeah, I'm sorry, Josh. I'll happily review as many teams as I can, but if they're not there, it's X having a weird day, isn't it? Should I swap Bowen captain to Gordon? I mean, mate, it's Thomas. It's honestly up to you, mate. It's genuinely up to you this week. I don't really want to give captaincy advice because I'm not sure myself. I'm genuinely not sure myself. Mine could change from Salah to Watkins. It easily could. Would selling Saka for Bowen or Eze worth it if he's unclear to start? Probably not, because the fixtures are still quite good after the international break. Yeah, I'd hold, John. I'd hold. Saka, Bruno, Martinelli or Højlund captain. Again, the United players are a really good shout. I think they're a really good shout. I think the only player that I'm definitely not going to be captaining is Jack's suggestion here is Son. Obviously, Spurs have got a hell of a lot of injuries. That team has been ripped apart, and Wolves aren't a bad side. They're not a bad side. At home as well, so it's going to be a difficult fixture. Gandhi, of course, will be involved. Early kickoff and all that as well. Jack is in the exact same position as me. Doesn't have a clue who to captain. Yeah. I don't either, to be honest. We'll take a look at predicted points. Maybe that clears things up for you. Maybe that offers you a little bit of kind of a solution to your problems. But we will take a look. Differential captain, Gordon or Matoma? I'd probably be more leaning towards Gordon. Yeah. Also, captaincy, we've got to remember why we spent what we spent on premiums for a reason. Agree? Agree, John? I do agree, mate. United are going to lose to Luton. Let's wait and see. Drop my team, Tom. Some big bench dilemmas. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Who would you start this week between Palmer and Lascelles? I'd probably go Lascelles. Maguire will save them. What is United's most recent or Arsenal's recent tweet? Let's take a look. I have got a hell of a lot of notifications, so maybe people's teams are just flying in. We're looking for Saka. I saw Trossard, so that was good for the guy who went for him. Gabriel, I'm all for that. Am I going to get like banned for this? Probably. I haven't seen Saka. Oh no. Right, we've been sent some more teams, so let's have a quick review of those. Oh, Josh, your team's still not here. Alex Naylor, let's start off with you. He has got Areola, Trippier, Saliba, Cash, Son, Diaby, Gross, Saka, Matoma, Watkins, Haaland. He's benching Guehi. Oof. That's a big call. That is a big call. But realistically, who would you swap him for? Maybe Pascal Gross. I think Guehi outscores Gross, but I've said this before, and then look at what happens. But that's probably the change I'd make there. Guehi over Gross. Seriously. That's the change I'd do there, Alex. I do think Guehi could outscore Pascal Gross. Had an absolute nightmare with injuries. Had to take a -4. Stuck between United or Arsenal players for captaincy. This is Jack. I think I'd rather go Bruno over Højlund for captaincy. That is just my personal preference. But I could easily see Højlund like smashing it. But I think, United could get a lucky penalty and Bruno obviously takes them. So I think I would be more leaning towards going for Bruno Fernandes, Jack, with the captaincy shout. Hakuna Matata, he has got a benching dilemma. He's got Darwin, Pedporo. Yeah, I think we've had another similar team, very similar to this, to be honest. I would say, I think you've got the team right. I genuinely think you've got the team right. I don't think I would be too keen to play any of these bench players otherwise. So I think you've got the team right, to be honest, mate. Hakuna Matata. We did your team. Alex, we did your team. I've made Maddison into Trossard for a -4. Okay. I think everyone else is fine. Juan Hee-chan could do something today. Trossard, again, it looks like Nketiah could be back, so maybe Trossard could be benched. It's one of those. It's really difficult to say. Obviously, from that recent video we saw on Twitter, Saka wasn't training. Again, make of that what you will. Whether or not that was from yesterday or a couple of days ago, again, fully make of that what you will. Jack said he sent me your team. Yeah, I think we did your team. We did your team, Jack. We already did your team. Thank you for sending me that. AAA1, I think we've done your team before. He's got Areola, Cash, Gahey, Konza, Kudo, Salah, Saka, Martinelli captain, Haaland, Watkins, and Nketiah with a flag. But I think Nketiah will be fine. Obviously, whether or not you believe that Arsenal video was from yesterday or the day before or whatever you want to believe, it didn't look good. It didn't look good for Saka, did it? It didn't look good for Saka. Oh, sorry, Jack. If you want to go to the YouTube stream and go back a little bit, you'll see it. But I can do it again for you. I can do it again for you, mate. We're pretty generous. I'm feeling the generous mood today. So let's go back and do your team. What did I say for yours? Had an absolute nightmare with injuries. Oh, yeah. I said I think I would go for Bruno Fernandes for the captain over Højlund, to be honest, mate. I just think he's got the slight edge with having penalties. That would be the only thing I'd potentially lean on there, Jack. But yeah, thank you for sending me a team. Oh, that wasn't you. Well, you know what? Forget it. Forget it then. Oh, fuck. Captain Saliba? No, won't be doing that. Be exciting. It's not come through then, Jack, I don't think. We are having some issues with that today. Teams are not appearing, which is annoying, to say the least. Annoying, to say the least. I don't know why people's teams aren't appearing, but they're not. Oh, I think I've found you. Jack McDowell. Is that you? I think this could be your team. You've got Areola, Trippier, Trent, Cash, Saliba, Saka, Bowen, Salah captain, Son, Julian Alvarez, and Watkins. I think that team's ridiculously strong. I genuinely don't think there's any changes I would make. Yeah, I think that's a really good team, mate. Salah captain, he is the highest on predicted points for Draft Town as well. So that's kind of where my thought process is at the moment as well. So yeah, no complaints there, mate. I think you've got the team in the right order. Everyone's looking good. And yeah, let's see what happens with Salah. I think we might have found everybody's teams, by the way. This wasn't showing before, and here they are. Well, Josh's has been found, at least. Josh, I've actually finally got your team, mate. I hope you're still in the YouTube stream kicking about. Johnson, Lascelles, Gabriel, Cash, Bowen, Son, Saka, Salah, Gordon, Watkins, and Haaland. Looking ferociously strong, as always, Josh, with your team. Yeah, Salah captain like me as well. But again, that could change very late on, maybe to Watkins. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, looking extremely good there, Josh. Thank you for sending me your team. And thank you everyone else who has sent me their team so far in today's stream. Like I said, if you want to send me your team, come over to my Twitter at FPLTom_. Leave it under the pinned tweet. And yeah, that's the best thing that you can do. As well, if you're enjoying the content, please do subscribe or follow, whatever you want to do, whatever platform you are watching on. As we're close to 2,500 and we're close to 7,500 followers on TikTok. So we're doing extremely well on both platforms at the moment. Keep the likes coming in as well and the comments. All good stuff. Massively appreciated by me. Yeah, thank you very much, guys, for the support that you've showed over the past few weeks. It's been incredible. It's been really good. It's been incredible. And, you know, I love doing these streams. Thank you for the follow, Jack. It was benching Hwang seemed risky. I get that. I do get that, mate. I do get that. He could be one of those that is sat on the bench, but it's so difficult. It's so difficult. Yes, you can still send me your teams at FPLTom_. Go leave it under my pinned tweet. Could Watkins be a captain shout? I definitely think so. George Kent said it might have not have been Dawson season, but it's Bowen season. This is the thing, right? Craig's still got some good fixtures to come up, so it could be good. Oh, cheers, Joe. Cheers, Joe. You're smashing it as well, mate. You know, bringing music to the people. Can't complain. What a G. If you want to go and check out Joe's TikTok as well, he's got some great videos on there. You've got a wonderful voice, mate. Just a little bit of flirting as well, you know, casually. I've lost my train of thought now. Thanks for that, Joe. Bloody. No Saka in that training video yet. Trippier, Adinga, and Alvarez bench one. Probably Alvarez if you're looking at fixtures. No Saka equals potential bench and sell. Again, it's so I don't know what to suggest. Obviously, he wasn't pictured in that thing, but Again, when was that video taken? Was it yesterday or was it like, I know it was 10 minutes ago, but you got to look at when it was filmed. Or is it kind of like psychological mind games? It's one of those. Josh, we did find yours, mate. But yeah, Saka was pictured yesterday with the Arsenal squad. So, take of that what you will. Should I make an early bench boost? Areola, Anderson, Juan Hee-chan and Taylor. I think there's going to be better weeks to use it, to be honest. Should I get rid of Tsimikas or Burn this week? I mean, Burn's definitely injured. At least Tsimikas might play some games. Livramento, I think he's a good shout, but it's a little bit risky. Obviously, whether or not he's going to play at right back, left back, or they're just going to play Lewis Hall at left back, or he's going to push a little bit further forward like he did in midweek. There's so many unanswered questions. I think after this week, we'll have a clearer picture of whether or not we want to buy into this Livramento hype. Start Mitchell or Kufau? I'd probably go Mitchell. Stenhouse Season 2, absolute goat. And if you weren't in the watch-along stream, George was there. He was an absolute goat for that one. But yeah, maybe we do another watch-along stream today. Maybe. I'll see how I feel. I'll see how I feel a little bit later. I might do another watch-along stream. If you want to see that, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If we get enough kind of comments, maybe I'll do another watch-along stream. I need to go to the gym. That needs to happen after this stream. So we'll be doing that, but maybe I do another one. Oh, maybe. Should I go for a -4 for Bruno and take out Saka? I think it's a bit risky. I do think that's a little bit risky. Bruno plus Ferguson or Bruno plus Nketiah. I think I'd go the second option. Lascelles and Gordon or Gahey and Palmer. I'd go Lascelles and Gordon. Bench and Mbeumo or Edouard. I mean, if you've got Edouard, this is probably a week you want to be playing him, so I'd probably bench and Mbeumo. But also, if he's carrying a knock, will he be risked against Burnley? Again, this is the point, isn't it? Like, it's so up in the air at the moment with Saka, what to do with him. He's gone with the squad. Is he going to play? And I feel like if he's on the bench, I don't feel Arteta will put him on. If you get me? Like, if you're winning that game comfortably, why would he waste him? Why would he put him on? Doesn't quite make sense to me. But yeah. Bench and Mbeumo or Edouard. We did that one. Saka out, Martinelli in. I mean, if you fancy it. But you've got to remember there's an international break. So if it is a minor knock and he doesn't go away with England duty, he's going to be back for game week 13, isn't he? Matoma captain masterclass. I mean, if you look at his data and Brighton's data, it's been pretty poor. He was very fortunate to get an assist last week as well. Bounced off Ashley Young's knee as well. Areola or Edison? I'd probably play Areola this week. I probably would play Areola this week. Do keep the questions flooding in, guys. Let's take a look at some predicted points for this week. It's probably going to help people who are a little bit stuck with captaincy potential options this week. Leading the way with the most predicted points in Game Week 12 is Mohamed Salah, 8.4 points predicted for him. Then it's Haaland with 7.5. Then, surprisingly, it is Matoma with 7 points against Sheffield United predicted for Game Week 12. So a few people have been kind of throwing about the Salah Masterclass potentially. Third for predicted points in the Draft Tower model. Then it's Son with 6.2, Saka with 6.1, and Bruno Fernandes with 6.1. Pascal Gross, a player I told someone to drop. He's on here with 6. Then Martinelli with 5.9. Watkins and Rashford completing the list with 5.8 predicted points as well. Who would you rather captain, Matoma or Ferguson? I would go for Matoma, to be honest. He would be the player. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Salah captain. I'm just having kind of a thought in my own head who to captain this week. I think I'm going to stick with Salah. I think this predicted points has kind of made me kind of go down that route. Looking at past games as well, Mohamed Salah has scored in, I think, 2 out of the last 4 games against Brentford as well. Liverpool at home, you would have to back them as well to get a positive result. But we'll see. Wolves are gonna beat Spurs. Mark my words. I agree. I think that could happen. George says, would you risk starting Tsimikas or taking -4 hit to get someone else in? I have nobody that would auto sub in for him if he doesn't play. That's tough. That is tough, that, George, to be honest. Like, defenders do have limited upside. Like, it's depending who you would get in for that -4. If you give me some suggestions, that might help me out. So is it Saka out, Martinelli in, worth it, Tom? I don't think it is. I personally don't think it is worth it. But again, if you've got that gut feeling that Martinelli's going to slap this week, then go for it. Go for it. Hi, what is my overall rank? I'm about 600,000 at the moment. 600,000. Which is, yeah. It's not bad. Like, we're still kicking about the main bits, which is where I'm usually at this point in the season. And then usually second half of the season, I do kick on a little bit post-Christmas. So I'm hoping that can happen again. Captain Nketiah and Vice Martinelli the way to go? Potentially. Kufau higher than Mbeumo on the bench? No, I'd probably put Mbeumo higher than Kufau. I've got Juan Hee-chan because he's the only player that's going to score for Wolves with Neto out. Agree. Matoma or Bowen? I'd probably go Bowen just because I think he's in a lot better form at the moment than Matoma. But again, it's completely up to you. Captain Nketiah and Vice Martinelli is the way to go. Porro or Alvarez, whom to start? I'm in a dilemma. I probably would go Alvarez just with the defensive injuries that Spurs have got at the moment. Cash over Kufau. Cash over Kufau. I've put Elise in my team's thoughts. I think I would have probably gone Eze over Elise at the moment, but he is going to be in the matchday squad. Whether or not he plays is a different scenario, but him being back overall is good. And, you know, we know what a fantastic player he can be. So hopefully for your sake, he does play this week. What do you think about Captain Ferguson this week? Again, I'm not all for it. It is a very positive fixture against Sheffield United, but they might be kind of like in a really good place after that win. Who knows? They could, you know, go and beat Brighton. They've not been, you know, great. Could be a little bit of hangover from beating Ajax as well. Who to captain is entirely up to you this week. I'm going personally with Salah. Yeah, I'm going Salah. As he's the highest on Draft Town's predicted points model. Eze or Hwang, I would be going Eze in that debate. First sip of the water of the day. Hi, Tom. Do you reckon Joachim Andersen against Everton or Kufau versus Forest? I go Andersen. You know, Crystal Palace are much better defensive side. Could get Gabriel, Kufau, Livramento. They're the options I like. I think Gabriel, you've got that little bit of risk of rotation, but the fixtures are definitely there. Kufau, if you've already got Areola, probably not worth it. And then Livramento is a big gamble, but it could extremely pay off. So, I don't think I'd do the -4. I don't think I would. But I always say this, if you've got a gut feeling that one of these players is going to do extremely well, maybe fancy Gabriel or Livramento, those would be the two that I'd look at. But yeah. Alvarez can be a minutes risk. I don't think he is a minutes risk, pal. He's playing a lot of games at the moment. He's playing a lot of games. I wouldn't say he's a minutes risk. Liverpool do play better when the game isn't on TV. I can 100% get behind that fact, George. I have no United players because they're going to lose against Luton. Fair enough. Crystal Palace and Arsenal have the most clean sheets in the Premier League. They do indeed. I've got White, Saliba and Martinelli. Very nice. Very nice. Diaby or Bowen? I would be going Bowen just down to the fact that he's got better longer-term fixtures. Do you think Saka will play? Again, he's been pictured with the squad yesterday, but he wasn't included in Arsenal's most recent video on their Twitter where he was training. So make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. Saka or Bruno Fernandes? With that news, probably Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, that video came out last night where he's at the team hotel. No worries, George. No worries, George. Happy to have you in the stream again, mate. Yeah. Douglas Luiz or Matoma? I think I'd prefer going for Matoma. Yeah. Captain Hoyland, why not go for it? Good fixture for Manchester United this week. Obviously, will be kind of, I think he'll be in high spirits. Getting a brace against his former club in the Champions League is always going to do well, isn't it? I have Eze and Elise in my team. Back in the Palace win. Those are the two creative boys, though, for Crystal Palace. I'm backing them in so rare this week as well. Have Elise and Eze in my team, so hopefully that goes well. And it does look like I'm wearing a wig today, doesn't it? My hair's not really kind of done anything. It's kind of just sat there. Do keep the likes and the questions coming in, guys, as we are approaching the deadline. 11 o'clock deadline today. Do keep those questions in. Ah, bro, you receding or what? Yeah, no, look at that. Like, it's not great, is it? Eesh. That's why we kind of have to, pull it down a little bit. Jake, here he is. I've sent you my team. Do I go for Kudos, Bowen? I'm willing to bench Son. How's Dawson season going? Look, we went through this. Dawson season's actually going pretty well. Because otherwise I would have had a Doji in my team and I'd have got a -4. So he's already 4 points up. Right. Let's go and have a look at Jake's team. Kudos/Bowen for Son. I mean, you fancy... Oh, come on, lad. Hwan Hee-chan. Oh, Hwan Hee-chan in here is criminal. It's criminal, lad. No, you can't do that. You really going to take Son out? You were doing so well, lad. You were doing so well. Oh, yeah. I don't know what to suggest anymore, to be honest, Jake. I think I'd be playing Son over Hwan Hee-chan. I just would, to be honest, mate. I'd even play him over Odds and Edward. Let's be real. I rather would. That is tough. Why have you put me in this predicament every single week? Just giving me these weird questions, and I know whatever I say is going to be wrong. So go against it. Just go against whatever I say, mate. So you want either Kudos or Bowen. Now, I know you were quite keen on Kudos a few weeks ago. So, again, go for it. Maybe. Not going to lie, you saved me last week telling me to bench a Doji. That's what I do sometimes. Sometimes my advice is good. Sometimes it's terrible. Bowen and Gordon or Matoma for Maddison and James Ward-Prowse for a -4. I rate that, Morris. I already did your team. Oh, you've changed it. It'd help if I read the full comment, wouldn't it? If you've sent it me, then yeah, but it's not here. Oh, it is. It's here. I see it. Verbergen's very risky. Cash, Anderson, Saliba, Salah, Hwan Hee-chan, Doku, Kudos, Martinelli, Watkins, captain. I think I'd rather play Raya over Verbergen. I just can't back him playing. It could be one of those random weeks. I mean, stick him in there. If he keeps clean sheet, keeps clean sheet. But again, we could randomly see Jason Steele just appear in goal. Brighton love to change their goalkeepers this season, but I think I'd stick with... You know what? Stick with it. If it doesn't let you send it, just type it out either in the TikTok chat or on the YouTube chat if you want to come over to that stream as well. Just type it out. That's probably the best thing to do. Yeah. Alfie sent me his team as well. He said, Maddison replacements. As you can see, I have enough to move to Salah, but is he the best option? I mean, if you were going to captain Salah this week, that definitely could be an option that you could go for, mate. So I think that makes sense. Obviously, with the kind of the debate around Saka being a little bit risky, it's not great. This could be the week to get Salah. If you're looking at the fixtures as well that are coming up, there's definitely going to be some where you want to captain Salah. So I think it would make a wise decision. Obviously, next week is City after the international break. Not great. But then you're looking at Fulham, Sheffield United and Crystal Palace. Arguably those Fulham and Sheffield United games, you're probably going to want him as the captain for those weeks. So I think it makes sense to do that as a move. And if you're definitely a little bit unsure this week, Alfie, I think that makes complete sense. Who's my captain? I've gone with Salah. Why were you taking out Son? Is my first question. But yeah, is what it is. Is what it is. What other questions have we had? I managed to get a fair amount of points without Haaland, with Alvarez, blessing in disguise. Yeah, fair enough. Thoughts on Livramento? I don't know if I can get behind it. I don't know if I can get behind it. At least you didn't kick off about my Bruno captain. The thing is, lad, right? Like, they're not great, are they? They're not great, United. But like, no one else is really standing out as like an amazing option this week, are they? Like, it is a positive fixture, and you have to say United have to win that, or Eric's gone. Realistically, they're not. Come on. Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It could be a masterstroke by you, lad, or it could be a disaster class. It's one of those. Take it for what you will. Benching headache for me. One got to bench. Suggest me Gordon, Bowen, Cash, Porro, or Alvarez. If I've got to bench one, I'd be benching Porro. Just down to the fact that Spurs have got their two main centre-backs have gone. Adoji as well. It's going to be a completely new backline for that game against Wolves today. A team that a backline that won't have played together as well. So, yeah. Bradster says Mansfield is shit. I mean, we're not, pal, because you play in non-league. So, you know, come on. Come on, pal. Ugh. Bloody hell. Right, how long have we got till the deadline? We've got 48 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions flying in. There's a poll as well kicking about in the YouTube stream. We'll end that about 5 minutes before the deadline so you guys can see who you think are the best captains for this game week. George says he really hopes Wolves win today. I mean, if Wolves win and Craig scores, I'm going to be a bit angry. Nice. Who you got in the FA Cup, mate? Whoa, clap back. How did the League Cup go for you this season? Oh, that's right. You weren't in the League Cup because you're not in the... How did I get on in Game Week 11? Not great. Like everyone else, really. I got like 29 points. Not great. I think we decreased about 40k in rank. Cash to Mitchell? No, I wouldn't be doing that move. Would not be doing that move. -4 to bring in Dallo for Porro. Porro's at least going to play, so I don't think it's worth the -4. Pope, Dallo, Shaw, Saliba, Gabriel Palmer. He's on pens. Doku, Son, Salah, and Getty Haaland. Very strong team. We will be soon there, mate. Don't worry. We'll be soon. Yeah. Shame we'll be in League One. It's just a shame, isn't it, pal, to be honest? It's just a shame. Bench boost active. Am I mad? Goalkeepers, Johnson, Areola, Gabriel Trippier, Cash, Maguire, Pedporo, Bruno Fernandes, Bowen, Salah, Matoma, Saka, Darwin, Watkins, Alvarez, and 2 free transfers. I mean, it is quite positive, but I'm not sure, Kieran. I'm really not sure if I'd be playing the bench boost. I don't think the fixtures are that good. Do you reckon Trent does anything this week? Probably not. Thinking Diaby to Eze, a different already, Cash and Watkins. Yeah, that's the move that I'm thinking I'm going to make next week as well. I think that's the move that I'm going to make next week. We've had our first ever super chat. Oh, thank you, Lucas. Absolute hero. Thank you so much for that, mate. First ever super chat. So thank you very much, Lucas. Massively appreciated. He said, can I send you my team for you to look over? Of course you can, mate. If you want to send it me on Twitter, at FPLTom_, whether or not you want to message me that or leave it under my pinned tweet. We do review teams on there. But thank you very much for the super chat. That is massively appreciated. But yeah, first ever super chat we've had, guys. Let's give Lucas some love in the chat. That's massively appreciated by you, mate. Thank you very much. Massively appreciated by me, and I'm sure by everyone else as well. So thank you for that. Like I said, if you want to send me your team, of course you can send it at FPLTom_. If you want to go to the description, there'll be a link there. That's the best thing that you can do. But thank you very much for the super chat. Massively appreciated by me. But yeah, big up to Lucas. Hero. My team is basically yours, but no Gabriel, Son, or Watkins. I've got Tsimikas, Saka, and Alvarez. Mad lad Lucas. Absolute G, Lucas. Absolute G. Do you reckon Mansfield will end their 3-game losing streak? Depends if Lucas Akins is back. If he is, yes. If he's not, probably not. Will Swan and Gale are not. They're not League 2 forwards. They're absolutely terrible. Neither of them could finish in a brothel at the moment. So, yeah, it is what it is. I have Saka thinking to risk it and swap Bruno for a 1-week punt. I don't think I'd necessarily do that. I know there's obviously that video come out where Saka isn't in the training, but he was pictured at the team hotel. And I think longer term you are going to want to own Saka after that game week, to be honest. But it is what it is. Right, let's have a check if Lucas has sent me his team after the super chat. Doesn't look like he has. He just sent me the super chat. Let's have a look if we've got any early team news kicking about. Doesn't look like we have any at the moment. But yeah, if you want to send me your team, Lucas, massively appreciated. And like I said, thank you yet again for the super chat. Where do you send me team? At FPLTom_. Leave it under my pinned tweet, and I will review it there. I've doubled up on Palace defenders. Oof, risky, very risky, but it is what it is. A turkey in a bush has said Lucas is a legend. 100% agree. Absolute goat. Thank you for the super chat. Mate. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We've got about 20 minutes till the deadline. But yeah, keep your questions flowing. Hopefully we can get some early team news for players that do have, United players. That works, right? Yeah, I think that works. But yeah, for people that have United teams, it could all be good, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Keep those questions, like I said, flowing. Also, there's a poll kicking about in the YouTube stream as well. So if you want to get your votes in for that, we'll end that just before the deadline. Maybe that is what you're waiting for, to see who the best captain is for this game week. I can see Salah's on 50%. I can't see any of the other results, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Right, let's take a look at Twitter. See if anyone else has sent me their teams. Nope, just another follow. Pretty big. Do keep those questions coming in, guys. Like I said, I'm going to have a sip of water. Let me know as well if you want to see a watch along later. I haven't quite decided whether or not I'm going to do one yet. And it will be very last minute if I do. But if that's something you'd be interested in maybe watching, obviously last week's was a success. The 3 o'clockers this week aren't as good. I don't really have as many players playing in them, so I'm probably not going to be as excited. It's one of those. If you want to see it, let me know. If you don't want to see it, don't comment, I guess. Don't comment. That's the way to do it, isn't it? That's the way to do it, I guess. But yeah, it went down quite well last week, to be honest. Right. That is really annoying outside. Again, I do apologise for that noise outside. I do live like kind of next to or behind a shop, and they're just so annoying and noisy. Like every single day there's a delivery, and it's like just so loud at random times. Anyway, that's that rant over. Questions have slowed down a little bit. Can you do one at 2 tomorrow? Maybe. I could do one at 2 tomorrow. That is a very good shout. That's a good shout, that, Jake. That is a very good shout. I might do one at 2 tomorrow. Okay. That's something we might do. There's a lot of good games on at 2 tomorrow. We might do a watch along. I need to think about it. Lewis Smith says, I've got Martinez, Areola, Cash, Trippier, Gabriel, Gahey, Lamptey, Bowen, Salison, Adingra, Maddison, Wilson, Alvarez, Watkins. If I do Maddison to Saka and Lamptey to Lascelles, should I bench boost this week? I don't know if I'd be bringing in Saka. Obviously, there's a lot of kind of debate about whether or not he's going to play. Wasn't pictured in the recent video as well from the Arsenal training, so a little bit risky. But yeah, it is what it is. Is the shop at least like a Tesco or a Morrison's? No, it is not a Tesco or Morrison's. No, it's terrible. It's actually a terrible shop is what it is. Lucas has sent me his team. Okay, we'll go check that out. I'm Mr. Nobody. Oh, appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. No, go to the gym again tomorrow. I will be going to the gym again tomorrow. We go 4 days a week. We gotta like it's bulking season. You know, we're putting on some timber. You know, it's actually quite fun to train at the moment because every time you go in, you're just going, weight's gone up again. Weight's going up again. Right, let's go check out Lucas's team after he sent me that super chat. By the way, absolute goat for that. Massively appreciate that. Yeah. He did. Right, this is his team for this week. He's got Areola, Agard, Trippier, Gabriel, Son, Salah, Bowen, Saka, Matoma, Darwin, and Nketiah. And on the bench, he's got Tarkowski, Digne, and Watkins. I would 100% be putting Watkins in this team over Darwin Núñez, in my personal opinion. Mr. Nobody. That is what I'd rather do. I'd swap Watkins out for Darwin. It's a shame you've used your bench boost because this would have been quite a good week for a bench boost, to be honest. I mean, a playing goalkeeper, yeah. Crystal Palace, not the worst fixture. Fulham as well. And then you'd have Darwin with Brentford at home. Would have been a good week for a bench boost. But the change that I would make is I would put Watkins in over Darwin. That is the change that I'd make there. We've had another team sent in to me. It is Olgret. At FPL Tom, 2 free transfers. What do I do? Good question. First one, I'd probably say is take Tsimikas out. You've got some other good defenders who rotate, very similar defense to me, who will rotate extremely nicely. So the plan I would be looking to do is probably go and get someone like Ethan Pinnock. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do. Yeah. So I'd go get someone like Ethan Pinnock. They've got good fixtures in 2 game weeks' time. Again, keeps this nice like defensive rotation kind of kicking around. So I think that's what I'd potentially do. Yeah. Someone else sent me their team. It looks like we've had a few more sent in. Thomas FPL, he said, not sure about my benching decisions. He's got Areola, Pau Torres, Cash, Trippier, Gabriel, Diaby, Saka, Salah, Son, Ferguson, captain, Darwin. Bench and Julian Alvarez and Luis Diaz. Obviously, I'd bump Luis Diaz up above Adoji, just for, yeah, whatever reason. I think that's right. I do genuinely think that's right. I think Diaz still will be slowly integrated into the squad. Obviously, they rescued his father. Great news. LA7 is a GOAT as well. So, yeah. Not sure about the benching decisions. I think you've got him right. Thomas. I think you've got him right, mate. Cameron, I don't know whether or not you're in. Yeah, I can see that. Send my team over, mate. Anything you change, I have 2.3 million in the bank. Oh, I probably would drop Tsimikas for either one of Gahey or Lascelles. I think both are great options. That is the change that I'd do there, mate, to that team. No, I wouldn't make any transfers. I think the team's fine, but I would not be playing Tsimikas this week. Who do you captain? It's purely up to you. If you want to go off the predicted points model, it's looking like Salah's going to be the best bet this week. But yeah, Cameron, my suggestion for you, mate, would be either Lascelles or Gahey in for Tsimikas over him. Yeah. George has sent me his Sun Dream Team. Again, I don't really know how this works, but it looks a fine-ass team, to be honest. Pretty strong. No real qualms there. So, yeah, all good. Bench boost with Shaw, Tsimikas, and Darwin on the bench. I think that's a pretty reasonable one. Tsimikas would probably be the only player I'd be worried about in that list. But everyone else, yeah, I think it's fine. Cool. Let's see what's kicking off in the YouTube chat. I've seen quite a few comments are flying in. Gordon or Matoma? I'd probably be leaning more towards Gordon. It's a big L, isn't it? Thank you for sending me your team. Who do you cap this game week? Lucas has asked. I'm going Salah, but again, there's plenty of good options. Haaland, always a cracking option. Watkins, Bowen, Matoma. If you think Saka's going to play, he could be a great option. Will Matoma play? I believe so. Saka starts. I mean, jokes let's do. I don't trust anything you say, so it is what it is. Bench Tsimikas or Gvardiol? I'd probably bench Tsimikas. I probably would bench Tsimikas, to be honest. About half an hour till the deadline, so make sure to get your teams in. VL's asked, what's up, Tom? Would you captain Watkins or Gordon? I'm probably leaning more towards captaining Watkins. Do you think I should go look for Lascelles or Saliba or Anderson? I think all are fantastic shouts, to be honest. Probably Saliba with the positive fixture run coming up for Arsenal. And Anderson's as well. But I think there's so many different options you could go for from that Palace side. Gahey and Mitchell are also really good ones. Who's your tier 1 Arsenal source then? Who is it? Come on. Tsimikas to Colwell. Long-term move with everything else to go with my team. I think if you wanted to maybe go Pinnock and then maybe look to move in a few game weeks time in 16 to do that. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do. Would you start Saka or Archer? I'm scared of an early sub if he plays. I think I'd go with him. Lucas asked Bowen cap. I definitely think that's an option for this week. Thank you for sharing the live as well, Mac. Massively appreciated. Maguire or Lascelles? I think I'd probably, you have to back United at home, so maybe Maguire. But I mean, Newcastle's defensive record is, brilliant, so I'm going to go with Lascelles. Do keep the likes, comments, questions, all that good stuff flying in, guys, as well. Keep the subscriptions as well coming in, as we are approaching 2,500 here on the YouTube, which is, pretty mental, to be honest, because we had like 1,000 at the end of last season, and now to think we're like close to 2.5 by like the end of the year. Absolutely great. No worries, mate. Anytime you want to come to these streams and ask questions, we'll be handing out advice. But yeah, like I said, we're closing in on 2,500 subs. Like, it's incredible. If we can hit that by the end of the year, it hits my goal. I'm very happy if that's the case. Play Bowen or Matoma? I'd probably play Bowen. Should I start with Van Heckel instead of Dawson? Captain still deciding. I think we stick with Dawson. It's Craig Dawson season, John. He will reward you because he's on my bench. Trust me. What is my overall points? Good question. I can't quite remember. 662. 662. There you go. Is Gabriel more nailed now? Again, he could be benched. This week. Like, I genuinely don't want to comment because it could happen. It genuinely could be benched this week. Should I captain Matoma or Watkins? I probably would be leaning more towards Watkins. Matoma played, a lot of minutes in midweek. And Brighton's attacking data is just not as good. It's just nowhere near as good. Forget price. Which order is best? Gabriel, White, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel. Probably Saliba, White, Gabriel in that order. VL's asked, is Turner done for the season? I mean, if the other goalkeeper makes some big howlers, then not. But I think for now, yes. I think probably till the, January transfer window, he's probably done. He's probably done as an option. But I think as long as you've got one playing goalkeeper, it's not too much to worry about. Højlund, a good captain idea. I mean, he scored his brace in midweek, doesn't he? But in the Premier League, he's not really found his feet so far. But Luton at home, why not? George said, can't wait for Saka to be benched and Cameron Archer to score 4. It's going to happen, isn't it? Burn to Saliba and Maddison to Bowen a -4, though. I think I'd do that. I think I would do that even. Any more news on Saka? No. Let's have a scout round. Let's have a scout round on Twitter. We might have some more. Matthew Carr sent me his team. Let's do this one while we've got it up. Vicario, Trippier, Walker, Cash, Bowen, Salah, Matoma, Saka, Son, Julian Alvarez and Watkins. Very strong team for this week. I probably wouldn't captain Son unless you're a massive Spurs fan. Early kickoff, team riddled with injuries, all that stuff. So probably wouldn't captain Son this week. But everything else, it is what it is. Doesn't look like we've got any early team news kicking about. Yeah. Golden goal, what's he done this week? Team's an absolute mess. 2 free transfers, plus or minus 4. Maddison to Eze, Burn to Mitchell. Fair enough. Fair enough. Also, another top quality content creator here, Golden Goal Fantasy Football. Go and check out his stuff. He makes some great content as well. Right, let's see what's kicking about in the chat. Playing Leno with Watkins captain. Oh, God. Oh, God. Haaland or Watkins as captain? I think you could probably go either way. Probably would lean slightly more towards Watkins, in my personal opinion, but it is what it is. Cash or Porro? I'd start Cash. Start Gordon or Mbuemo? Gordon. Bench Tsimikas or Alvarez? I would be benching Tsimikas. Cash or Porro? We did that one and I said Cash. What would you do if I had Saka? If I had Saka, I think I'd still play him. I genuinely think I'd still play him. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Best captain for this week. If you're looking at predicted points, it's Mohamed Salah. Then, what else? What else? Who else? Haaland. Then Matoma's third for some reason. Oh, cheers, Jake. Cheers, mate. Who am I captaining? I've gone with Salah at the moment. It still could change. I still could chuck it on Watkins. Katie's asked, can I send you my team? Of course. If you want to send me your teams, at FPLTom_ on my Twitter. Leave it under my pinned tweet and it'll be there. Blackjack, welcome back to the FPL stream. How you doing, mate? If I was going to sell him, probably be for someone like Bowen and Buemo, Kudos, or probably Martinelli would be the ways that I go. Seth Smoker said, I sent you my team if you could take a look. Yeah, I'll take a look. Do you think Tsimikas will play? I don't personally. Tsimikas or Adingra? I'd probably go Adingra as the option. Let's take a look. Some people have apparently sent me their teams, so let's have a look. Oh, oof, we're flooded in. Flooded in with people. We have got FPL_J225. What transfers do I make this week? And looking at his team, he's going to have to take a defender out. So Dan Burn is probably a player you're going to have to take out because you've also got Tsimikas. So I'd probably look to make a defensive replacement change. You've already got Mitchell. So let's take a look at the fixtures and see what good fixtures for defenders have got coming up. No Arsenal players, so maybe Gabriel could be a shout for you and your team there. Maybe someone like Maguire. Maybe you could go across to Livramento if you wanted to keep the Newcastle route going. That would probably be my suggestions there, mate. That would probably be my suggestions there. Right, who else has... you've just sent me your team. You've just sent me your team. Let's have a look if anyone else's teams have came in. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. As we are approaching the deadline. About 25 minutes to go as I'm just stuck. Yeah, hang on. Hang on. Is Tsimikas not starting? We don't know, but it didn't look good after midweek, did it? Didn't look good after midweek. Woo-hoo. Have a quick scan down. Make sure we've missed no one out. Nice to meet you. What other ones have we got kicking about? Josh. Max. I'm not seeing this team from Max. What happened midweek? He had a huge error leading to goal, and if I'm not mistaken, he came off at half-time. If I'm not mistaken, but yeah, he was at fault for one of the goals. Max has sent me his team. He's got Areola, Saliba, Zinchenko, Trippier, Gordon, Matoma, McTominay. I like that as a shout. Bowen, Salah, Haaland, Ferguson. Cash, on the bench. That's difficult. I think I'd rather play Cash over one of the Arsenal boys, personally. That would be my preference, but it's up to you. It's whatever you want to do. That's the change that I'd make there, Max. Gary McDivitt has sent me his team. How would you fix this mess? Oh, good question. You're probably going to have to take a -4 if you wanted to. So it'd probably be Burn and Maddison out. Probably for someone like Gabriel and maybe someone like Eze, Matoma, Kudos if you want. You've already got Bowen, so probably not. So those are probably what I would do there. So a defender out. And then, obviously, one of Maddison out for somebody like Eze, I think would be a really good shout in this team. Or you could get a Crystal Palace defender in. You don't have one of them as well. So either a Crystal Palace player in one of these slots, and then maybe someone like Matoma and Buemo for their good fixtures coming up as well. So that's probably what I'd do there. Katie Terry, she has sent me her team. She's got Onana, Kufal, Cash, Livramento, Son, Bowen, Eze, Diaby, Salah captain, and Watkins and Haaland. Tsimikas on the bench, rate it. I don't think there's any changes I would make there, to be honest, Katie. Going with the Salah captain, I rate. Yeah, very strong team. Very strong team indeed. Hopefully Onana can keep you a clean sheet at home. You would have to hope. But we'll wait and see what happens. Right, let's take a look at what's been happening in the YouTube chat, as I can see quite a few questions have been flying in. Thoughts on... Where's this gone? Thoughts on Diaby, Cash, Maddison out for Son, Gordon and Lascelles in. I mean, if you've got the 2 free transfers and taking a -4, probably worth it. Tsimikas or Adingra, I'd be going Adingra. Saka and Ketia is scary to have in a starting lineup. It is indeed. You're hoping they play, but I think they will. Have Brighton kept a single clean sheet this season? Now that Dunk could be out, could even be worse defensively. 100% agree with that as well. I think if I had to play Cameron Archer this week, I don't think it's the worst shout in the world. So is it worth selling Saka for Martinelli or Mbeumo, or just be safe and risk it and keep it? I think personally I'd risk it and keep him. You think this could be a good week to bench boost? Leno, João Pedro, Lascelles, Gabriel on the bench. That's a very strong bench, that, Hayden, not going to lie. My team is so dead, so I transferred in Palmer and Adoji, and Odegaard and Saliba for Adoji. I still have Maddison. Jesus. Your team must have been riddled. Play Darwin or Mbeumo. I'd probably go Darwin. Josh has asked, morning Tom, need some advice. Got Maddison in with 1 free transfer. Would you do Saka or Bowen? Also, I've got 3 playing defenders with Tsimikas. Would you take a -4 to strengthen the bench? I think I would potentially go Bowen over Saka with the kind of the doubt around it. And then this is the thing with Tsimikas. He still could play and he still could get you 1 point. So I still don't think it's necessarily worth going for the -4 for a defender. He wasn't great in midweek, was he? But Liverpool just don't have much defensive cover, so he's either gonna start on the bench and not play. It's a difficult one. It's such a difficult one, man, because I don't really know what the best suggestion is. I think if I had him, I probably would keep him and wouldn't take a -4 out of to get him out of my team. That would be my personal suggestion. Should I start Onana or Areola? I probably would go Onana. Bowen or Bruno for Maddison. I'm probably leaning a little bit more towards Bowen. SportCat01 has sent me his team. We'll go check that out. If you're on TikTok, the best thing that you can do is come over to the YouTube stream. The chat flows a little bit slower, so it's easier for me to read. You also get to see my team on screen as well. You also get to see my face as well in a better angle. Come on. And when we do review teams on Twitter as well, you will see your team live on screen as well. And if you want to send me your team at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet. And that is where the best place to leave it is, because then I'll review it live on stream. Does Estupinian play? No, he does not. No, he does not. It looks like he's picked up another injury, which is a real shame. So he won't be playing. Katie said, the only thing I'm stuck between is captaincy. Yeah, it's a real difficult shout this week. Like, I genuinely am in the same position. I'm 100% stuck on what to do. There's so many players with good fixtures this week. It's risky. I think I'm going to stick with Salah. He's got a pretty good record at home against Brentford as well. Brentford haven't won at Anfield, so I think that's the way I'm going. But Katie's going to go for Bowen. We'll see how that one goes. I wish you the best of luck. Estupinian news, he ain't playing. Blackjack said, Craig Dawson still there? Course he is, mate. Course he is. Can't beat old Craig. Cannot beat old Craig. Taking a -4 for Wilson and Gahey with Alvarez and Botman coming out. Fair enough, I rate that. Maguire or Wan-Bissaka, I go Maguire. Yeah, I've done it. Bye-bye, son. Hello, kudos. Oh, my days. Oh, Jake. Oh, Jake. Oh, Jake. I hope it works out for you, mate. I really do. Anderson, Gahey, Mitchell or Dallo. I'd probably go one of the Crystal Palace boys. Any of them is good, depending on your budget. Frank said, my team, Areola, Gabriel, Cash, Gahey, Lascelles, Bowen, Salah, Martinelli, Diaby, Cash, Watkins, bench, Visser, Simicast and Anderson. Was thinking about it, or should I play Visser or not? Nah, I wouldn't play Visser. Won't play Visser. Keep the questions coming in, guys. We've got about 18 minutes till the deadline. Keep your votes coming in for the poll as well, and keep all your likes, subscriptions, follows, and all that good stuff coming in as well. Like I said, we are approaching 2,500 subs on the YouTube channel. If we could get as close as that today, that would be absolutely immense. And yeah, it'd be really good if we could hit that. And we're close to 7,500 followers on TikTok as well. So if you do enjoy the content that I make over there, give me a follow as well. We've got some more content coming up. We have ordered a fake mystery shirt box. It cost me about £11. We're going to open that and see if it's any good. That should be interesting. That will be on the TikTok if you want to go and check that out in a few weeks, whenever that arrives. And yeah, and who knows? Might be good. Might be good. Cash or Maguire to start? I'd probably go Cash. Stag's prediction: if Lucas Akins is back, it's going to be a 2-1 win. If it's not, we're going to probably lose. That's my suggestion. That is my suggestion. Can I check out your team? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Let's go and check out your team. I'm guessing you're Harvey, Sport Cat. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. If not, then yeah. Why Cash? Because he's immense. Come on. He's got Onana, Trippier, Cash, Gahey, Saliba, Palmer, Saka, Foden, Bowen captain, Haaland, Watkins, and then the bench is a little bit of a mess. Yeah, the bench isn't looking good, is it? It's not a very strong bench. Have you already made your transfer, Sport Cat, or not? Let me know. Thoughts on Højlund captain? Obviously got the brace in midweek. Yet to really kick on in the Premier League, and it's a difficult time for Manchester United. Any team news yet for FPL? No team news yet. We'll have a quick scan of that before the deadline. But yeah, let me know, Sport Cat, if you've got any transfers left. Let me know. Otherwise, if you haven't got any transfers... Oh, you have. You have got a transfer. Probably going to be Maddison out then, isn't it, to be honest? Probably go Maddison to someone like Matoma maybe for a week. Or you could just leave it and roll into next week. I'm just a little bit worried about, like... actually, no, I think everyone there's probably going to play. It's just Saka's the potential worry, isn't it? So maybe go Maddison to Mbeumo for their good fixtures in game week 14 when he plays Luton, and just put him first sub in case Saka doesn't play. That might be the way to go for it, Sport Cat. That might be the way to go for it, mate. Who is your favourite Premier League team? I know you go for Mansfield, but just wondering. Well, I'd probably say someone like Brentford or Brighton. They're extremely well ran. So those are probably the two. I have a soft spot for Crystal Palace. Like, I don't want them to win, but they're just like a nice club. It's just one of them. Like, I don't really have any kind of affiliation to any kind of Premier League team, but it is what it is. Thoughts on Kufau? I think he's good, but if you've also got Areola, don't think it's probably worth the double. Should I captain Gordon or Watkins? Probably leaning more towards Watkins. More towards Watkins. Do keep those questions coming in, guys. We've got about 50 minutes until the FPL deadline, which does close at 11 o'clock. We're feeling pretty fresh today, you know. Feeling pretty good. What are your thoughts on captaining Bowen? It's not for me, but I can see why people are doing it. He's in really, really good form at the moment. Obviously, West Ham at home as well. I get why people are doing it. I do get why people are doing it. But personally, for me, yeah. Sent you my updated team. I think I'll regret benching Huang. I think you will as well. Chloe sent me her team as well. I sent you my team on Twitter. If you want to send me your teams at FPLTom_, leave it under my pinned tweet. That is the best thing that you can do. Let's go and take a look at this as some people have sent me their teams. Here's Jake's updated team. He's benching Huang. Oh, but he's brought Kudos in for Son. Could be a very risky move, but we'll see what happens. I mean, if you fancy Chan over Edward, that could be the shout, lad. That could be the shout. Right, let's have a look, because some other people said they sent me their teams, but they're not appearing. They are not appearing. Here we go. Chloe's team. Anything you would change here? Edison, Anderson, Gahey, Walker, Trippier, Matoma, and Buemo, Son, Douglas Luiz, Haaland captain, and Darwin. I think I would play Saka over Mbuemo. I think that's what I'd do. I'd risk it. I'd play Saka over Mbuemo. That is what I'd do. I think that's the way that I'd go. I think I'd risk it, Chloe. But that's about it. Let me check if I've missed any other ones as well on here. We did that one. We did that one. Sorry if I do miss your team, guys. We do get quite a lot sent in, and it's a little bit difficult to sometimes keep track of them. Frazzles, who is Kerry, has sent me their team as well. Areola, Saliba, Anderson, Trippier, Saka, Rice, Salah, Son, Darwin, Watkins, and Julian Alvarez. Yeah, I don't think there's any changes that I potentially make there. Gone with Captain Son is probably the only risky one. Obviously, early kickoff. Spurs absolutely decimated with injuries as well. So a little bit difficult to kind of judge what kind of performance they're going to put in today. But you wouldn't imagine it's going to be a positive one. You wouldn't imagine so. Wouldn't imagine so. Do keep the questions coming in, guys. Bench Son and starting Palmer. Oof. That is risky. That is very risky. Controversial opinions on the Morrison's deli counter. I mean, it's a rogue one. It is a rogue one. I don't really use the deli counter, to be honest. I like the bit where the sausage rolls are and stuff. My personal favourite at the moment is the rhubarb lattices. They're like, 2 of them are like 800 calories, and while we're bulking, they're just like great. So just hit your like calorie kind of thing, and they're quite nice. Bit of custard on that as well, if we're feeling a bit fancy. You know, Morrison's has got some pretty good stuff kicking about, I'm not going to lie. Georgia says, I've taken a -4, done Botman to Gabriel, just not confident in Tsimikas starting. If that's the way you feel, mate, go for it. Respect. What about you, Connor? What are you picking up? What are you picking up on the old deli counter? Done my team for the week. No transfers, just going with Haaland captain. Climb ranks slowly with non-Haaland owners. And in my head, Man City have more than rest the Euro Liverpool fixtures. Agree. Sam, Gordon or Bowen? Probably Bowen. Saka is with the squad today. Yeah, apparently we've seen that. But we'll wait and see. Watkins or Salah captain? I think this is probably the right time to end the poll, isn't it? Let's see who's won the poll for captaincy for this game week, so you guys can go away and make your potential decisions. I've ended it, and it hasn't appeared. Oh my days, what the hell? I've ended the poll, and it's just disappeared. Well, We won't find out because the poll just randomly ended. There it is. There it is. It has popped up for me. So game week 12, best captain, 51% of the vote have gone for Salah, Haaland with 31%, then Saka with 11%, and then Son with 5%. 190 votes as well in there. So thank you everyone who has voted throughout the stream. Salah winning that. So if you want to go with the power of the people, people are going Salah. People are going for Salah. Simicast or Tarkowski? I'd probably say Tarkowski. Martinelli captain. I mean, if that's the way you're feeling, go for it. Who is the best captain for this week? Probably Salah. Probably Salah. Bruno would have beaten Son in that poll. I mean, probably would. Cheers, John. Thank you for sticking around for quite a while. Appreciated. Hopefully see you back in future deadline streams. Obviously an international break after this week. But yeah. Dawson season hopefully starting today with Spurs centre-back away. Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. Bruno captain. He's feasting this week, says Owen in the TikTok chat. Stenhousemuir versus Spartans predictions today. I'm going for the big 2-1 win for the Stenhousemuir. Someone sent me their team. Let's have a quick check of that. This will probably be the final check before we wrap up. I can't see it, unfortunately, mate. It hasn't popped up. Yo, Tom, what you think of captain, one of the Villa boys? I was leaning more towards Watkins last night, so I think it's a good shout. I'm not going to review any more teams, guys, while we're so close to the deadline. I'm just going to sit here and answer your guys' questions, so do keep them coming in. Would you rather have Chong captain or Morris? Do you think Wilson will start? I think there's going to be a late call on his fitness, so probably not off the back of that. But you never know with Eddie Howe. Him and Arteta are notorious liars in press conferences. But yeah, keep your questions coming in, guys. As we are approaching the deadline, we've got 8 minutes left. Simicast or Archer in bench order? I probably would put Archer above Simicast. Frazzled on Twitch, just saw you top, send right and top other accounts. Okay, let's take a look at these two. My other accounts, Ariola Gahey, Gabriel Trippier, Salah, Saka, Diaby, Watkins, Rice. Yeah, I rate that. Probably would play Cash over Darwin for that one. Ariola Gahey, Cash, Trippier, Virgil, Diaby, Salah, Rice. Rice captain, Jesus. That's yeah. Rice captain. Right, let's have a final check. Do keep your likes coming in, guys, as well. Let's have a final check. Make sure I've not missed anyone's teams. If it's not come through, I do apologise. And yeah, that's the way of the world, I guess. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. What the hell am I chatting? I think we've done everyone that I can see in here. Apologies if I have missed your team. It just sometimes happens. But yeah. Looks like we've done everyone. So yeah. Right, I'm not going to review any more teams, guys. We're just going to sit on this screen for a little bit and just answer questions. Arsenal fans are crazy. Rice captain. Darwin, Saka or Son, bench one. I probably would bench Darwin. Let's have a quick look if there has been any early team news that we've got. Let's have a look. We've got 6 minutes till the deadline. Doesn't look like we have got any early team news. So maybe if you were potentially looking for that. Would you play Douglas Luiz over Saka and Son? No, I probably wouldn't. Who's your best striker to bring in except Haaland and Watkins? Probably someone like Darwin Núñez. I think in game week 16 is going to be Nicholas Jackson season. Ferguson or Martinelli cap? I'd probably lean more towards Martinelli. Do I take out Son and Palmer for Martinelli and Gordon? Probably not. Fulham are strong defensively. I mean, if you look at their XG conceded, they're not. They're down the bottom. I've done it. I'm risking it. I'm captaining Watkins. Team locked in. Let's go. Love that from you, Josh, mate. Love that from you. Hopefully it pays off for you, mate. Yeah, hopefully it does, mate. Hopefully it does. Thank you again for being in the stream. Absolute goat. Well, obviously Salah's not going to play for Liverpool today, is he? Because they're not playing today. Come on, George. Got to wake up a little bit earlier to fool me, mate. Best striker picks. Probably Watkins, Darwin. That's about it, really. There aren't too many other quality forwards in the game, are they? That's really about it. Alvarez is also a good shout, but with the stinky fixtures coming up for City, probably not. Probably not. Yeah, exactly. You got to take a risk. You do have to take a risk sometimes, Josh. My team is Areola, Trippier, Cash, Saliba, Anderson, Salah, Saka, Son, Bowen, Alvarez, Watkins, bench, Turner. McAtee, you think this is good? Yeah, that seems fine to me. I'm not going to review any more teams on Twitter, unfortunately. I'm just going to sit on the screen for now. But yeah. And it also didn't appear, unfortunately. Captain Gordon, I think there are better options than Anthony Gordon, but watch me be proven wrong. Who do I bench from Lascelles, Cash, Anderson, and Gabriel? That's a really difficult one. I'd probably say Lascelles, just because they're away in Newcastle. That would be my only consideration. He would be the only one that I'd bench. Diaby, Bowen, or Nketiah bench one. Flip, that's difficult. Surely there's got to be better players you can be benching than one of those. I'd be really devastated to bench any of those. Maybe Nketiah out of... I feel like probably Nketiah, but the fixture's too good. I'm not reviewing any more teams, guys, as there only is 3 minutes till the deadline, so we're not going to review any more teams. So if you've got any questions, just send them over to me, and that's what we're going to do until the deadline. About 2 minutes to go, so make sure your teams are getting locked in. Thank you for all the support as well that you showed throughout today's stream. We got our first super chat as well, so Absolute Hero sent me that. Massively appreciated for that. So yeah, really, really nice. Yeah, like I said, never had one before. Now we've had one. We've popped our cherry, as they say. Do keep your questions coming in. No Salah, do I captain Haaland or Watkins or Saka? Leaning towards Haaland to be safe and boring. If that's the way you want to go, Alex, then I think that's fine, but Watkins could be a little bit of a spicy shout. I was fancying it earlier as well. Took 120k fall last week. Can't do much worse this week. Big shout. Who to start, Cash or Livramento? I'd probably go Cash. Pizza Hut or Domino's? I'd be going Domino's. We'd be going Domino's. Cheers for the follow as well, Alex. Appreciate that. Like I said, we are closing in on 7,500 followers on TikTok. So if you do enjoy the content, the lives or the short form content, be sure to follow. And same with YouTube as well. If you enjoy the content that you see here, subscribe, all that good stuff. It is appreciated by me. 10:58. Deadline is approaching as well. We're not doing a minute silence. It's not Sunday either. Is it 10? Is it 10? Is it 11? It is 11. So make sure you're getting your team locked in. Forson Onana captain, you are mental. I've captained Nketiah, good for you. About 1 minute till the deadline, guys, so do make sure you're getting your teams locked in. Like I said, we will stay live for about 5 to 10 minutes afterwards. We'll go through my score predictions. Make sure you're getting your teams locked in. Any final questions as well you do have. Captain Fernandez, I think, could be a good shout with Luton. Obviously on penalties as well. Definitely offers himself up as an option. Hi, Mikey. Welcome to the stream. Very late. Probably a little bit too late to ask any important questions, but it is what it is. If you do have any questions, guys, do get them in. But like we're probably talking seconds until the deadline is closed. So, you know, do keep them coming in. But, yeah. Captain Dandros Townsend. Shushed up, George. Come on. Captain McTominay? No, probably wouldn't do that. But I think he is a good maybe shout for this week. Could be a good shout for this week. Do keep your questions coming in, guys. We will stay alive for about 5 to 10 minutes after the deadline if you do have any questions for future game weeks or just any general questions about football, life, whatever you want to talk. We've also got my predicted scores and all that good stuff. It has just hit 11 o'clock, so the deadline is closed. So hopefully you got your team locked in, all secured, and all that good stuff. Hopefully. But yeah, make sure you get your team locked in for this game week, guys. Like I said, thank you to everyone who has been watching the stream today. We're all going to stay live for about 5 to 10 minutes. We've got some stuff to go through. We've got my predicted scores for this week, which is always quite entertaining and fun to do. So we'll do that as well as if you've got any questions, just general questions. But yeah, all good. Oh, Mikey, you never ignore me, mate. You're all good. You can ask away as many questions as you want. You can ask as many questions as you want, mate. As many as you like. No annoyance for me. No annoyance for me. Thank you for all the likes, like I said, guys, throughout this stream today. It's been absolutely immense. Massively appreciated by me as well. But yeah, keep your questions coming in. What can we have a look at? We can have a look at my predictions that I've gone for this week. So I've gone for a 1-0 win for Wolves. It's risky, I know, but I think it could happen. I genuinely think it could happen. A 1-0 win for Wolves in the early kickoff. A 3-0 win for Arsenal. A 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Everton. Manchester United versus Luton. I've gone for 2-2. I'm expecting an exciting game. Bournemouth versus Newcastle. I've gone for a 2-1 win for Newcastle. Villa versus Fulham. I've gone for a 3-1 win for Villa. Brighton versus Sheffield United. I've gone for 2-2. Liverpool versus Brentford. Nearly said Fulham. Liverpool, I've gone for a 3-1 win over Brentford. West Ham Forest, I've gone for a 1-1. And then City, I've got them winning 3-1 against Chelsea. Drop the skincare routine. I mean, there is no skincare routine, to be honest. It's not great. My skin isn't amazing. Right, I ended up going with Salah captain last minute, so let's pray. Hopefully so, Katie. Hopefully so it works for you. And me as well. So hopefully so. Hopefully it does work out. But yeah, those are my predicted scores for this week. Let me know what you're thinking. Unfortunately, Footy Kit's 555. The deadline has passed, so you won't be able to make any transfers until after the international break now. I do know it just went 11, mate. I do know it just went 11. We were just reading my predictions, Harry. And we've just stayed live for a little bit longer. Just answer any of your questions. We've already had an important one from George. What's my skincare routine? Question. Go for it. Shoot, son. Now we're waiting. We're waiting for this important question. Let's have it. Oh, Gabriel, Ben White or Saliba? The deadline's gone, pal. The deadline has gone, unfortunately. But I probably would go Saliba, Ben White, Gabriel in that order. But yeah, the deadline, unfortunately, has gone. Doesn't look like, there's going to be anything else happening around in the stream. We'll stay live for like 2 more minutes. Just keep your questions coming in. It's not 11:30 a.m. It's not 11:30 a.m. I've benched Haaland. No, you haven't. Don't lie to me like that. I just sneezed. That was horrible. That is horrible. Deadline ain't 11:30. Come on. Oh, on the Sun it is. Well, good for the Sun. Good for the Sun. I don't play the Sun. Oh, sorry. As budget, I went for Bruno for Madders for 2 weeks before I swapped to Mbeno. Is that a bad idea? No, I rate that Footy Kits 555. Sorry, mate. I do rate that. Deadline is gone for FPL. Apparently the Sun's 11:30. So who's captain? Saka, Martinelli, Haaland or Salah? I'd probably go Salah, mate. Probably would go Salah. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. If you believe the Sun, get help. Thank you for all the support you've showed throughout today's stream. Massively appreciated by me. All the likes, comments, subscriptions, follows. It's all good. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. I think we're all going to leave it there, guys. It's been an incredible stream. We might do a watch-along stream either today or tomorrow for the 2 o'clockers. I haven't decided. We might do one. we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But yeah, thank you for all your questions, support, like I said, in today's stream. Massively appreciated by me. We got our first ever super chat as well, which is absolutely incredible. And you might see me again this weekend at some point. But if not, it is what it is. But thank you very much for watching today, ladies and gentlemen. Massively appreciate it, like I said. And good luck this game week.